Okay, so what's going on, guys? I don't know if you can see me clearly, but so what I have here for you is the five love languages. Um, so what it is the five love languages was created by Gary Chapman, and he's a marriage counselor and pastor, and you'll hear me talk about love tanks throughout the presentation. So I just wanted to give you a bit of information what that is, and that's really just the capacity of love that someone feels from their partner, or even anyone in general. And how do we develop our love languages is usually through our childhood development period. So the way our parents raise us and show us love and affection has a heavy influence on us as adults, because that's what we usually identify as when we get older. So on to the next slide, we'll go on to our first love language, which is words of affirmation. So, when it comes to a person who identifies mostly with this love language, um, words of affirmation means that the words hold power. So the notion of love really comes from what the person is saying. So the thing is that it's not really difficult to fill these people's love tanks up, but the challenging part is selecting the correct time. And words to use when giving words of affirmation. Now, that also means that negative words have a heavy impact as well. So it's important to realize that there are better ways to ask your partner to do something, um, by using kinder words, because they'll respond to it better, and they're going to be happier to do things for you, or to even offer their own affirmation and love in the future. So the best way to get through to these people is to honestly just give your support and show them that they are needed in your life in ways that might seem minuscule to them, but you exaggerate it, I guess. It's not the best word to use, but essentially. So we'll move on to the next one, which is quality time, just making sure the slides work. Um, so, quality time can be a bit more challenging because it's hard to find the time to be able to have that quality time with someone. So, it doesn't have to be an extravagant moment or creating these romantic events. While those are good, quality time can mean just 20, 30 minutes just sitting down and not even really talking with your partner, but it's more about listening, because someone who really identifies with the quality time love language really only wants to be listened to, unless they ask for advice, or unless they, ask for your opinion. Um, and it's really, really important that when you're sitting there and listening, that you are present in that moment. And what that means is that, in today in our daily lives, there's a lot of distractions, and it's important to try and remove those distractions when we're trying to be present with the person that we're trying to spend quality time with. Because if we are distracted, then we're not in the moment, we're not engaging them. It's more that we're just there in proximity, and we just say, oh, that's just, I was there, I did everything with you, but you weren't actually there. Um, and it's not really about the activity when it comes to someone with quality time. It's really more about just spending on that one on one time. So that's why those romantic dates, or those nice quiet settings, or long getaways can be good. Um, but they're not 100% necessary. Really, just trying to find bits and pieces throughout the day to really listen to your partner will really help fill their love tank when it comes to something like that. So we'll move on to the next slide. So the next one will be receiving gifts. So when it comes to receiving gifts, or someone who identifies as a person who likes to receive gifts, it's less about the gift, and more about the gesture. So what it really is a physical reminder of of the love that you have for them, and it's something that they can hold on to, um, that they can look back on with fondness and remember those times. Uh, and it's also about the symbolism. So while the gift itself doesn't matter, it also kind of does, because the symbolism behind the gift has to have some sort of meaning behind it, and that meaning shows that you put thought into them. And what really people who appreciate with this kind of love language, they really appreciate the thought of the gift and the meaning behind the gift and the significance and symbolism that it holds to them personally. And it shows that you understand that symbolism and that thought, and you're able to give it to them in a physical manner and in a physical, actual object. Um, so we'll move on to the next one because that one's kind of relatively simple, at least in my opinion. So now we go on to acts of service. So acts of service is just doing things that we know our partner will enjoy. So that's, cutting the grass, cleaning the house, anything, any sort of chores that really benefit our partner's lives and our lives as well. What really it shows that sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. When it comes to contributing, um, that's how how people identify with these love languages. Um, how they see affection. The fact that you're willing to sacrifice and put forth the energy and time and extra effort shows that you are willing to go out of your way to please them, make their life easier. Um, and it has to be done with a positive attitude. And the reason for that being is that if you're only doing it just with a negative attitude and there's not a good spirit about it, then your partner won't see you as wanting to or willing to serve for them, and they won't respond positively to you even after you've completed the service, because it's not about the service, it's about the sacrifice and the time and energy that you're willing to put in for them. So um, so just keep that in mind with people who appreciate acts and service. I mean, you might not like doing it, but you got to keep a positive attitude while doing it, and they'll see that and they'll really appreciate it. So we'll move on to our last love language, which is physical touch. And it doesn't have to be sexual, but it also can be. I mean, in a relationship, there are certain needs that a partner need that wants to be filled. So it doesn't have to be sexual, hugging, cuddling, things of that nature. These kind of people really, really appreciate and identify with affirming love. Um, and they can't be the only ones initiating it. So if they're the only ones who, will hold your hand or will give you a hug or they're going to be the one to kiss you all the time, then they typically feel like that love is not reciprocated because you do not initiate it. So it's important to find the right moments to try and show them through touch and physical touch uh, that you are there for them, because it's really simple to kind of please these people. I mean, you just really have to be willing to kiss or hug or cuddle with your partner. So it's doesn't take a whole lot of words or any type of uh, gesture or gift. But what really gets these people is the fact that they prefer action. So I felt what I found personally to be true is that these kind of people can relate a lot to people who identify with quality time and acts of service. So it's more about that time that you get to spend in the physical realm with your partner. So what that means is that the quality time that you can spend just sitting there and being able to hold each other means a lot to them, and it can go a long way. So that's why I felt it could relate a little bit to quality time or a little bit of active service. And my very last slide is my question for you guys. So, like I said earlier, your childhood development has a big, big, big influence on your love language later in life. So, what I want you to do is think about how your parents raised you uh, and how they showed their love to you, and to use that to be able to identify which love language that you most likely uh, identify as. So, thank you guys. I hope everyone's healthy and happy, and Have a good day.